the Newstalk 989 studios, the voice of the Ensemble River Valley.
Newstalk 98.9. Good day, Oscoda. It's Jenn and Dirk. Hello, Jenn.
Dirk. Oh, my God, that's really you? The last I saw you, you was on a video. Dude, it was sleeting on you. Trees were cracking. I was really starting to get worried.
I am like freaking out with this storm. The trees are getting all bent over, and you can hear them cracking. Well, it's the ice on the trees that's so thick, but I know what those like CNN and Weather Channel guys feel like when they're out there battling the weather.
I'm like, what is he doing? Get inside. Oh my gosh. Do you remember, they're saying this is going to keep going until, midnight?
Yeah, it's gotten worse and worse. I thought they were making a big to-do about nothing like 24 hours ago, and I'm telling my wife, I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen.
Poor Chantal. She's like, you just wait and see there, Dirk.
So, a lot of people talking about the weather, and I have not been out driving in it, fortunately, because I can't. I'm on this mountain, and it's 100 feet down, and it's just I was thinking I might do downhill curling, though, get these things flying across my street at like 100 miles an hour.
Luge. Get yourself some luge and some Crisco.
Have you been outside today, or are you just looking out your gorgeous windows at the woods?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm staying nice and safe inside. It's scary out there. Yeah, real scary. Not as scary as 100 years ago. I'm sorry?
Mr. Jenn went out, though, this morning, right?
He did. God, it was 4:30 this morning, and it wasn't pretty then at all. He almost came home. He's a good man. He made it to work for us.
Yeah.
Worried about him getting home, though.
We've gotten like 3 different sheets of ice, I think, over the course of the day, and there's a new one building right now. That's the one I was out there reporting on, but the weather warnings changed. Ice storm warning remains in effect until it's up to midnight tonight. Additional snow accumulations for Oscoda of up to 1 inch and ice accumulations of 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. I've already got more than 1/4 of an inch on my drive.
Yes. Possible thunder and lightning and small hail, too.
There's lightning.
Scary days. Wow. Thunder, lightning. Oh, thunder, snow.
Oh, my God. Armageddon's coming.
It's not coming with thunder, snow.
Well,
but
listen,
it is wicked
it says
cold.
Travel
wicked,
could be nearly
cold.
Impossible. Power outages, tree damage, dangerous travel conditions.
Yes. Stay inside. Don't go out if you don't have to. Just stay inside.
Travel is strongly discouraged. If you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency. Prepare for possible power outages.
And a blanket. Bring a blanket with you, folks, in case, you run out of gas and you got to keep warm.
I always keep a blanket and a few supplies in my trunk. Most people I know, though, don't.
Yes. Get one with you. Hey, you know what I was on? You sent me over was that storm. What was it? On the same date, 2/2/22. Pretty crazy, right?
Okay,
do you remember what you sent me?
I never caught the fact that it's on the exact same day.
Are you serious?
No, I thought it was like 100 years ago. Like one winter 100 years ago. I didn't realize it's the same day.
Yes. No. So like this day is known for crazy ice storms. Yeah. Started on the 21st, lasted all of the 22nd, and into the 23rd. 4 inches of ice. Property damage staggering $10 million in Wisconsin alone, guys.
And
this was $1922.
$10 million.
Right, you could buy anything for a penny.
Wait a minute, let me Google this. Convert 1900.
Seriously, so to have
Computer,
property damage at $10 million, nothing could be left.
All right, be quiet, computer. I forgot. I renamed my Alexa.
Did you just Google it?
Well, see, I talked to Google, but I've got Alexa programmed to answer to the word computer because I thought it was cool, like Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime you say the word computer, listen. Anytime you say the C word, as we call it now in the Hunt home, Alexa starts spouting off and arguing with you and crap.
It's hilarious. See, they didn't say, hey, computer.
No, shh, quiet.
Shh. That's the C word.
She's listening.
Me too.
All right, here we go. Cumulative price change from 1900 to 2022 is 3,247%.
Yeah, just a lot.
Wow.
So if you took that $10 million and times it by 3,470.
No, it's $1 in 1900 is worth $33.47. So you time the 10 million by 3,300 with math.
So are we like in 3 billion amount of property damage today? Is that
It was 10 million, right, that they suffered in that day?
Yes. I'm like 10 mile.
10 million times 33.
The answer is 330 million.
Oh, okay. 330 million in today's dollars.
Okay.
But I
That's
bet you'd be a lot worse because think about it. Back then, 100 years ago, there wasn't as much infrastructure or dependence upon technology.
Bingo.
So, yeah.
They still had telegraph poles. They didn't even go on telephone poles.
You want to hear something?
I was dying.
You want to hear something nerdy about me? In Cub Scouts,
oh, God.
I learned SOS to be able to then make our own telegraph stations and communicate back and forth.
Well, that's adorable.
Yeah.
A little nerdy. Stinking adorables.
My dad said, this might be a skill you need sometime, son. Never know. What are you talking about?
Your dad, the politician.
Yeah.
Thought you needed telegraphic skills. Oh, God bless him.
But if folks go to 98.9's Facebook page, we've got some pictures. That looks like I like storms, though, like that. Don't you kind of like this? Is it like living on the edge?
It's got to be a man thing, because Mr. Mike or Mr. Jenn goes out in the storms, too. He loves that stuff. And what's with you guys? We're here to save.
We did that a couple times, but my wife's like, why do you go outside when there's lightning and high winds? I go, so I can see it. If I stay in the basement, I won't see the tornado.
Right. You guys are crazy. Oh, my goodness. So speaking of crazy, did you hear anything new with the Ukraine situation?
Yes. It's pretty much what Russia did in Georgia back during the Obama administration. They went into a portion of Georgia, which is on the not Georgia in the United States. If you're starting to go, what's he talking about? No, the country.
No, not that Georgia.
Yeah. And it was just like in Ukraine. It's the reason Russia took over Crimea, and we did nothing about it, 6-7 years ago. Those sections are right on the border of what is now Russia. They used to be part of what was called the Soviet Union. Well, it's like with any country, like you see it all the time in Africa and the Middle East, where English colonial governments drew up boundaries with no regard to ethnicity and different regions. They just, here we're going to make a square and a rectangle, a little circle here, and that's going to be do-boop-a-doo. Well, those parts of Ukraine right now that have been annexed, well, not annexed, they're saying that they've declared their independence, and Russia is now backing their independence, and that's why their forces have gone in there simply as a protective measure. See what they did there?
Yeah, because that's not how I got that. I got that Russia declared them independent and wanted them back under the... Yeah.
Russia had the separatists declare independence so that then Russia could say, we acknowledge that. Here's your protection force now.
Which they didn't want. And now we got to go and tell them back off.
No, here's the issue. The people in that area do want it. Because, like you have over in Africa and the Middle East, you'll have the people in that part of the area are Russians. Those towns, those cities, they speak Russian. Russian's the only thing on TV. Russian's printed in the newspapers. They are
just
different.
Go about it the right way.
They are different from the other ones. So that section there, traditionally is Russian, not Ukrainian, and Ukrainians are more European based, and then the ethnic Russians are Eastern based towards Moscow.
So then why don't they, if they want that and Russia wants it, then why don't they just work it out the way they should
that's the
instead
problem.
of trying to occupy it?
That's exactly what we did with Crimea when they took over that part of Ukraine. The Obama-Biden administration said, hey, because they had an election in Crimea, the people voted to be annexed by Russia, and in their mind returned to Russia, because all of Crimea was all Russian people, not Ukrainian ethnicity people. And so all they're saying is these republics in that area that are Russian are now independent. Russia's saying we're going to protect them now, but there's no intent to just like run over Ukraine, which I think was a big misperception in the media, because they did the same thing with sections of the country of Georgia, which is the same situation as Crimea, and now this one. Biden today in his press conference, though, they had a lot of tough talk the last 3 weeks, but he basically said, well, we're really mad. We're going to punish you with some money issues, and don't you dare go any further than this. And
yes, and so did NATO. They put down their own set of sanctions.
Fighting if the Russians did this.
Well, they're still saying they could go further if they proceed further.
No, they've said they're not. We just we're recognizing.
No, I just watched it. He said if they go further, there will be further actions.
Oh, the president. I got you. Yeah.
Yes.
But see, that's
I'm
the
sorry.
thing. It's like, don't you dare, and then they dare, and then, okay, I'm giving you one. If you come this much for, no, okay, all right, come back in. It's like,
I know.
He was like,
they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. I think he's trying to retaliate in a measured response.
Why are we even messing with this? They're not even NATO. We just got out of Afghanistan, and now we've got tens of thousands of young men and women.
You just can't let Russia take over countries. You just can't let Russia take over countries.
Why? It's not our area. We have no concern there. You're a warmonger.
It's the world. I know.
Yeah, you're saying innocent Americans should be sent halfway around the world to go die to protect Ukrainians who provide us with nothing except their corruption, and to protect them from Russia, and they're not even a part of NATO? No, that's not.
Well, where does it stop? At what point do you stop him then? You just keep letting him take countries over?
I don't see them doing that, though. When they invaded Georgia,
I do.
They said we're just.
Oh, I do. I don't trust Russia.
Warmongers.
No.
I don't understand why you Democrats are just trying to kill American kids. It's just horrible. Anyways, what else we got coming up?
Well, we had our grand opening on Saturday. Yay.
Tell people about it.
That was funsies. Well, we had the pizza and the pop, we had people, we had music, and lots of fun, lots of good talk and conversation. I think the weather kept people that would have come out back, because it wasn't the greatest day either.
It was a little on the cold side. And a blizzard, too, in the morning.
Just a bit. Yeah. So hopefully next one's better attended. We appreciate all the support we did get, though. And
we're going to have another grand opening.
I think the studio's looking pretty amazing, Pretty amazing.
People did like the live stream so they could be there in spirit.
They did. We did.
If people take the time to go through those videos, there's some tasty little things in there you might find.
I think there might have been a monkey shaking its butt at one point. I don't know.
I got to make a clip out of a few of those. They're pretty darn funny.
So, speaking of weather conditions, with as bad as it is up here, believe it or not, Gaylord had to cancel their snowmobile festival. Last year it had to get canceled because of COVID. This year because the track conditions aren't good enough. Is that just not insane in itself?
16 or 17?
2017, yes. So
a couple of warm days, I'm sure the snow cover. Wow, that's too bad.
Yeah, I mean, these people come from all over, like Indiana and Ohio, and way far away for this, and it just makes you feel bad.
You sent me. Did it say in there how many participants they usually have? Because I'm wondering how many local businesses in the 4-county area and around here are being, hotels, motels, restaurants. If it was,
well, let's see. It says
2,000 people.
I get the feeling this is a pretty big event for them, Dirk. They said it brings, like I said, primarily from Lower Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Northern Michigan trails. Yeah, they're not saying the full count, but I suspect this, it'll be impactful on the economy up there, I'm sure. It is. It really, really is. We need our events.
At the Birchville at the ATV races out at the park, and those were fun. I was saying to my wife, "Is like we need to go up to Lincoln when they have their snowmobile race." Or I've never personally been to a snowmobile race, but I like the sound of those engines
and the smell. I don't know, the smell of the exhaust or something does something for me.
See, okay, finally, some diesel bus or a diesel truck running. Oh, I'm right there.
I'm just saying that there's something in that race fuel that, it's in the rubber. Yep. The race fuel and the rubber, when they meet together, that smell is distinctive, and you're at the track.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, we are going to keep on our time today, my friend.
All right, are we done?
Ethan, no, Ethan, the Oxford shooter. Have you heard how they've made an appeal for him to go? I called it back in the day juvie hall instead of real jail, real big boy jail.
A lot of people will be interested in this one because it raises that question once again. Because he's in, I think, 23-hour solitary out for an hour for calls and stuff like that. But he's in an adult prison, right?
Yes. Well, he's being charged as an adult, too, which to me is impactful.
15 years old? How old is he?
Yes, I do believe 15 is correct.
All right. Well, I say keep him in there. Most of these other people that, other young kids, a lot of urban young kids, they're in the same sort of situation, and they're forced to stay in the adult population. I don't know why we should just make an excuse for this kid.
I agree with you. I can't see him going to juvie after that. Those aren't juvie offenses.
Well, it's glad to see you're once again a hardcore conservative warmonger. Now you want a little kid to stay in prison. When I was doing radio sales, I was always told by my sales manager, ask your potential customer questions, always question them, and then use their own words to convict them.
Wow.
And then make the sale.
That's evil.
I know.
That's not making you sound wicked.
All right, I think we're over time this time again, but not nearly an hour and a half over time.
Wonderful. Widow in the Woods podcast.
Yes.
Roll a clip on that because you guys have got to hear Carolyn. My goodness, just poignant, exquisite, just wonderful addition to the family.
I've had so many people say to me, she sounds like this show should be on NPR. This is just a wonderful thing to listen to on a Sunday morning.
It really is. And such a wonderful comfort for people out there that are going through what she is.
It is perfect, especially for our area, which is a huge retirement area. I personally know of 2 other people in her situation, moved here, retire, spend the rest of their lives, and their spouse dies soon after arriving. So if you or a friend know somebody in that situation, or my wife and I, it's kind of something you always think about. What happens when one of us isn't here any longer? So it's Widow in the Up North Woods. It's our first original podcast here at News Talk 98.9. And just like Carolyn did, if you've got an idea for a podcast that you've always wanted to do, just contact us here, message us on Facebook, and we'll go over your idea, and we'll find the right solution for you.
Sounds perfect. Right. Love it. I love what we're doing. Thank you, Dirk.
Good day, Oscoda.
I think that's all the time we have for today.
Jenn and Dirk, we will go out of this with... I'll just tag the whole thing on episode 1, Widow in the Up North Woods on News Talk 98.9.
Be safe. Stay warm.